if you watched the last one, you already know the situation. I'm only here to tell you that we had an unfortunate situation with the cameras, which meant that my angle wasn't recorded. So we're just going to be using a picture, but the guest angle is normal and everything else is normal. Oh, I did miss something on the last one, by the way, which I'm going to tell you as well. If you wasn't aware, this is actually an audio podcast first anyway, yeah? So if you search in Hcpod, you'll be able to find us via Spotify, iTunes, Deezer, Google Play, and I think that's it for now, yeah? So, yeah, you can listen to us on your journeys or whatever it is that you're doing, and that comes out before the actual visual. But, yeah, I just wanted to let you know, please subscribe if you haven't. Like, do that right now. Like, subscribe right now, please. Thanks. Enjoy the convo, yeah? Right.
If you've got a link that night...
Yes.
If you've got a rave to go to, whatever booking you have, you're cancelling it, bro.
And you look down and then you realized, hypothetically speaking, yeah, that actually, like, the concept of religion isn't what we believe it to be, yeah? And it isn't that. If everyone could do that, what percentage of people do you feel would turn in regards to their character?
I'm taking that one.
Are you taking that one?
100,000,000%.
Why?
Because the other one will drive you mad. If you know the full truth, you go mad. You could only know like a few bits, because the moment you have your savvy to the information, bro, you will go mad because the world is a very, very dark place, bro.
Do you know what? I think I could handle the truth.
You can't handle it.
Tell you, in fact, I was going to bring this up a little bit later on in the pod, actually, but let's just talk about it now. The other day, yeah, I was having a conversation. We talked on one angle of this. But the other day, I was on the pod and I was talking about a conversation I had with someone, yeah, and they had said to me, what superpower would you prefer to have? Knowing or being able to understand animals and hear them speak, or unearthing the world's secrets, yeah? So when she'd said this to me, at first I was thinking, what would I prefer? I knew what I preferred, but I just was fixated on the animals thing, because that's when I was saying before on the pod, right, it's mad. If I could hear animals speaking, like, you would actually really hear all of these mad trauma stories from like cows and fucking elephants and whatever else, because they're just, this is bare smoke. That's just what they're dealing with.
But can you only, and I'm like going off on one, but can you only hear the animal, or can you actually communicate with the animal? Because that's a different thing. If you could communicate with, if there's like a bear or a tiger,
that's interesting,
and I can hear it, and the tiger saying, boy, man, I have to eat this brother still.
Yeah.
There's nothing I can do about this. Whereas if I can speak to him and say, like, roar back, and he's like, oh, Marv, what go on?
No, go on, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's a bit different.
I think it was more from the place of like communicating with them still.
Go. I'm taking that one.
Are you taking that one?
100,000,000%.
Why?
Because the other one will drive you mad.
Yes.
Okay, wait, go on. Like, go ahead.
So the funny thing is, I had the same conversation with someone the other day, and I was saying that, I think he was saying, basically, I'm in KFC and I'm on the phone to my brethren. So I'm ordering a 3-piece meal, whatever. He's like, brother, why are you eating clone chicken for? That's clone chicken, you know. I'm like, what are you talking about now? So he's vegan, innit? He's like, bro, like, how much chicken? I went to the NFL game before, blah, blah, and the man ordered 40 wings. What human being needs 40 wings? Like, think about how much chicken is consumed in the world. Do you think there's enough chickens for that? The chicken's being cloned, bro. I said, oh
my God.
So I'm like, what? So let me get it straight. They're only cloning chickens. They're not cloning nothing else. They're not cloning fish. They're not cloning vegetables. I said, brother, you're in the same boat as me, man. Let me order my KFC.
Strong.
So he was saying to me that if you know the truth, like, wouldn't you rather know the truth? And I'm like, I'm not going to lie to you. If you know the full truth, you go mad. You could only know like a few bits, because the moment you have your savvy to the information, bro, you will go mad because the world is a very, very dark place, bro.
Do you know what? I think I could handle the truth.
You can't handle it.
Let me tell you this, but wait. But I would need the truth in doses. You couldn't just hit me with all the fucking madness just within a day. I'd need it, like, I need to be able to, like, you know what, you've given me this one. Whoa, all right, give me a minute. Let me live with that for a minute. Then I'll come back a little bit. But that's not the game, though. The game would be to unearth, it wouldn't be every secret.
Yeah.
It would be what you want to know. So someone wouldn't come to you and say, by the way, here's all the information. It would just be like, well, what would you want to know? Like, if there was any type of secret that you would want to know about, what would that secret be?
Oh, so for me, for example, be stuff like UFOs.
Right.
I don't know, does that really exist? Is Area 50, is it 51 or 54 exist?
Yeah, exactly.
Did Roswell happen?
Right.
Did you actually land on the moon, or was it like camera tricks? Like, I wouldn't know that kind of stuff. But then me being a black man, I'm like looking into like, you was up into Africa. How was this planned?
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like the divide and conquer thing. Like
how was
came
that?
Up with that?
That's right.
How
That's what I would want to know.
Do you know what I'm saying? And what actually happened? What were you doing to black people?
Yeah.
Well, I'll go mad.
Or even what black people were doing to black people.
There's that as well.
Right. And looking at like the elements of, you know, like the pyramids and stuff like that. We're given information. We're told things, innit? Yeah. And things that have been passed down, but we also understand the element of the Chinese whispers, innit? We also understand that like the information in its purest self is probably not the information that we have so much now. So I'd be curious to understand that. But I also, like, for me, I mean, I know this is not necessarily a secret, but it is like, what are we in our purest form? Because sometimes I feel like, and maybe I'm wrong in saying this, but sometimes I feel like I don't know what it is, I don't know what it looks like, but sometimes I feel like we're being pulled away from what our purest self actually is for some reason or the other. Why? If that is the case, why? And what are we supposed to be doing? Like, are we part of an experiment? We are part of an experiment, really. And like, is part of that experiment to see how far you can actually push human civilization? Because sometimes I think that too. I think, see, like when you look at, like right now we're having so much strikes and that, yeah. So you're looking at what's going on with the teachers, what's going on with nurses and all of that, and like their thing is about pay. Inflation is going up, but their pay is not matching all of that.
Cost of living,
the cost of living is all mad. Like, no one ain't trying to be a teacher no more, that's a whole next thing, really. Yeah? It's like, it's hard to be a teacher. It's a rewarding job, but ultimately you're getting paid X amount of wage. But you're doing all of these hours, because remember, it's not even just school hours, it's all the hours outside of that and whatnot. Wait, is there like a deeper thing to push people to see how far, like at what point are they going to not be able to adapt? Because constantly, regardless, if I was like running this agenda, for me, the way that I would be looking at it is everyone's moaning, everyone's striking, everyone's protesting, whatever it is around the world, yeah? But you know what ends up happening? Everyone just adapts. So at what point do you not adapt? Like, and what does that look like? Is there someone doing that?
But I feel like the UK, we're pussios.
Oh, absolutely.
I've been saying it for time. We need to, but in Paris, the moment something happens, they turn over cars in Paris, bro. Like big, like riots over there. They don't play around. Like here, we talk a lot. We go on Twitter, we moan. We want to look like we're upset, but we're not doing anything. Because really and truly, the government take the piss here. Like
bits.
Bro, they take, like, congestion charge, for example, was supposed to be Monday to Friday. Weekends, no, Monday to Saturday. Weekend, Sunday was free, right? They remember, like, they changed it to 10 p.m. every day. Then now 6 p.m. like to every day of the week. It's like, brother, ULEZ, they expanded it now. So let me get this straight. If my car is old or older or CO2 emissions, I've got to pay £17.50 a day to drive it.
Yeah.
But if I'm in Liverpool, I ain't got to pay ULEZ.
No.
So let me get this straight. What, the same atmosphere? What is different in Liverpool?
Yeah, no. I hear
Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
but then obviously they say that in London there's just so much more going on.
God, allow me, man. Because remember, are we talking about London? Or are we talking about the world? If we're trying to help the world, it should be a uniform thing we're doing in the UK for all vehicles.
It's true. Wouldn't they say that there's like hot spots though?
That's what I'm saying. See, that's what I'm saying. Politician, bro. Look. You're conditioned, bro. Because
I am.
You're making, the thing is, you're making it.
I don't agree with this, by the way. I'm just saying what they're saying.
I thought you make. Do you know what it is? But
no, I'm not bro. I'm always looking at. This is probably wrong, but sometimes I always look at it from the point of from the person who's doing the fuckery.
Yeah.
Like what they're saying and what their excuses would be.
Do you know electric vehicles, for example? To produce an electric vehicle is a madness. You know that, right?
Why do you say that?
Because the batteries for the electric vehicles, to produce those batteries, it takes like. I think it's mad harmful to the atmosphere and whatever. So it's like, let me get this straight. So this electric vehicle that you're producing that is supposed to be good for the environment, to make it is actually bad for the environment.
Okay, so it's counterproductive.
Bro, but they won't tell you that.
Wow. Well, it doesn't fit in the gender.
It's mad. And then even electric vehicles, for example, remember they said that you don't pay tax on electric vehicles because it's electric and we want cleaner air. Now they're saying they're going to start taxing electric vehicles.
Oh, see.
So which
one they were trying to get a bunch of people over there.
So which one was it then? Because technically that's nothing to do with the atmosphere and pollution. You just want to tax man for everything.
Well, that's what that's about, isn't it? Everything is about money, isn't it? And at what point do people have enough, and what does that look like? What's this here? Put this on the screen.
Yeah, producing lithium-ion batteries it makes more CO2.
Is it?
Than an actual internal combustion engine.
Exactly. Look at that. See.
Yeah.
Use twice the energy and emit more CO2. Yeah.
So imagine, so every electric vehicle is...
It says because of this. Was that, is that EV? Was that, what is it? EVs, oh, okay. Use twice the energy and emit more CO2 during their manufacturing than what's ICE? During their manufacturing, oh, okay. Oh, that's nuts, man.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Do you know what?
But they wouldn't tell you that. So in your mind, you're thinking electric's clean. This car's been made clean and it's good for the environment.
Wow.
You're making it and it's actually worse for the environment.
I just want to know about all these different agendas. Like, what are they there for? Like, what is this about? Like, ultimately, what is this about?
It's money and power. That's what I think it is.
Okay, this is then what I want to know. Who's holding the power? Who's holding the power? Who's dictating this?
Ruling families. And
who's the ruling family?
Like, you got like monarchies. Like, for example, the monarchy here is a ruling family.
Yeah, do you think there's something above that?
Where?
There must be. I think that this is where it starts to get real deep, because this is the truth that maybe some people would not be able to accept. Like, maybe, bro, this is going to sound so mad, but what if you found out, yeah. That 70% of the people that you actually see don't exist? Huh? Non-playable characters. No, but just like they didn't exist.
I think me and my brethren spoke, and again, the same conversation I had with my brethren about the chicken.
Could you handle that?
He was saying, yeah, I could definitely handle it. Cause I don't speak to people like that.
And fuck them anyway.
Yeah, I don't speak to them. But we were saying, my brethren said, if this was the Matrix, which pill would you take? The blue or the red pill?
What were they again?
So basically, I can't remember what was what, but
put them on the screen. If you
one was obviously continue the life that you're living now.
Yeah.
How you see it, like for example, it's like this. I'll give you a pill, Chuck. You either stay as you are now, and what you know is what you know. I'll give you another pill, and all this stuff does not exist, and you see the truth. You see the world for how it is, and the truth of the agendas of the government, and the fact that all this stuff doesn't exist is bullshit.
What would I choose?
I said, I'm staying like this, bro.
Yeah, I probably would stay like this.
Yeah.
Because this is the thing, it's like, I want to know, like, I feel like I could handle the truth, but I don't know if I could live in it, like
every
that,
day.
in that form.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like, in that form.
Them man were eating, like, sludge every day. They were in a cold, like, vehicle. They were always, them sentinel beings kept coming, like, brother, leave me in the world, bro. I'm all right.
But with that wouldn't stop me from eating. So, like, do you know what? If, like, let's say I found out fucking, I don't know, they did something mad with the KFC or whatever, which we always hear this type of shit anyway. It's like, you know what? It's too late. I tasted it.
Yeah, it's done.
I tasted it. You know, you could do that on things I ain't eaten. If you say to me, like, bro, see that thing there, bruv, you're just gonna fucking, then I won't eat it. But if you're already telling me, like, say curry chicken or whatever, oh my God, the way that, I hear that, my brother, but I've eaten it.
Because I'm eating it.
But so it's too late.
But remember, the Matrix is like, you're eating the same thing every day, but the way they've programmed it is like, you think that's curry chicken, but it's sludge. But because you're here, and they've just fooled everyone, you think you're eating curry chicken. It's just when you eat that blue pill or whatever, I can't remember what colour it is, that's when you realise it's sludge every day.
Right.
The powers that be are making me think this is something that I want it to be.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? So that's why I was kind of like, brother, I'm staying here, bruv. Nah,
I'd want to know what's behind religion.
Do you know that's my biggest question? Is that obviously I'm a Christian, I believe in God, but you're not going to know until the end. You're not going to know who. You can have your faith and believe what you believe, but we're not going to know like the afterlife, reincarnation, like all
People talk like they do
who's
that.
right. I think it's because it's faith. But you got to have undeniable faith, unequivocal faith in terms of if you believe in this, you have to be like, I believe this.
Why?
Afterlife, there is this and that.
Why?
Huh?
Why?
Because that's your religion. It's kind of like if you've got a parent, like, and your mum's got your hand and she's taking you across the road. You trust her she's not going to throw you into the road in front of a car. You trust that your mum's going to, when you wake up, do you know what I'm saying? That your parents are going to look after you. So I feel like that's how people see God in terms of he's always going to look after me. Like, so I believe in him and I trust him do you know what I'm saying? If that makes sense. It's kind of like that.
Yeah, but couldn't the difference be, see, like the example that you use is like, my mum is physically taking my hand and we're walking across the road. And you know what? Like, I guess that trust is, I know that you can probably put them in the same place here, but go with me here, is that like, when I walk across the road with my mum, there's been so many physical things that she's done that when we go to cross the road, I don't have a doubt in my mind because of her physical behavior towards me. But if I didn't know, if I just had a belief, not necessarily based upon a physical action, then when we do get to being like standing on the side of the road, I'm going to think that she's going to protect me, but I don't know though, until she actually does do it. Now, what does happen is that like maybe sometimes something good has happened and we think that we've been protected in that. So then we place our belief in that because, you know what, it had to have been that. And maybe it was.
Yeah.
Maybe it was. But what if it wasn't?
That's my point. You'll never know. And I feel like, I think it depends on how you're grown up and in terms of what religion you've grown up in and who you're around. Which I'm saying, because I grew up in the church. So me growing up in the church, it was kind of every Sunday church. Every evening church on the Sunday. So like morning service, evening service. Mm-hmm. Which I'm saying. And
yeah, it's a good church.
Prayer and fasting, all these things. So in me, I believe in God. Like it's just there.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like I've got a conscience, like I believe in certain things. So for me, I feel like as a Christian, you're supposed to see it as you woke up this morning. God, it's a blessing.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying? If it wasn't for God, you wouldn't wake up in the morning. But then the way you're saying it is like, yeah, but you might have just woken up. It might have nothing to do with God.
Right.
So I think it's how you look at it.
God might have had a lazy day and said, this one wasn't even me.
That's a
You
lazy
just did
day,
it.
though.
You just did it. But I do find that interesting as well because let me ask you this, yeah? I'm going to say something that someone had said to me, but I'm also going to say it as like my firm belief too, but I'm not going to say his name because I'd rather him just say it. But this is something that I actually genuinely believe, yeah? Let me ask you this. If, religion didn't, let's just say you found out, okay, let me put it like this. Let's just say you came out of the sky, like went into a whole different dimension and all of that, and you looked down and then you realized, hypothetically speaking, that actually, like this is the concept of religion isn't what we believe it to be, and it isn't that. If everyone could do that, what percentage of people do you feel would turn in regards to their character? And the reason why I ask that is because the one thing I've always said about religion, which I love, is that for a group of people, it gives them a moral compass. You get what I'm saying? In a guide into how you should move, essentially. And I respect that. If that wasn't there, how much people do you think, percentage wise, do you think would say, what? Well, fuck that then. I'm outside. Do you think that it would be a large percentage?
I don't know, 'cause
it's hard to say.
Yeah, because when you look at like past civilizations like the Romans and stuff, they were like in that vibe of apparently they were doing whatever. The Romans, they were starting orgies, they were like, Romans were on smoke. When you like read up on the Romans, like even like, you know, like cherubs, you know, like is it cherubs?
Valentine's Day.
Valentine's thing, because they used to like little boys. Yeah, man. In terms of the Romans, they used to like
what?
Yeah, they used to like little boys, bro.
Like, explain that.
So, for example, in terms of the Romans, like they believed that like sex with anyone was fine, whatever you wanted to do. So whether it's a man, a woman, a child, whatever feels good. So they used to have these mass orgies. So that's where apparently that's where the cherub comes from. That like the kid with the bow and arrow.
Oh wow! Put that on the screen, by the way.
Yeah. So I feel like stuff like that. So I feel like it depends on. I feel like it'll be dependent on what society swings towards.
Right.
If that makes sense. So for example, right about now, everyone's kind of
here,
because
right?
of religion.
Yeah.
So because of religion, like as you said, everyone's got a similar moral compass in terms of thou shalt not steal.
Yes.
Commit adultery. All these things, like whatever, is frowned upon. But if you took all those rules away and you just told people, live your life, what would people...
If they started stealing and they started doing all of that stuff, yeah, I have to say this in a respectful but blunt way,
yeah,
then essentially you're a pussy-o, but you're a pussy-o today still, though. So, like, if you have this religion, yeah, and this is what is essentially making you do this, to, like, be a good person, and the book goes away and now you're not a good person, then you were just never a good person then. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I feel like some people still be good. Like, even when you look at...
No, of course they would. I'm not talking about them.
No, I'm talking about like places like Syria or Iraq. The moment a war breaks out and there's no order from the government, you start seeing people start doing a madness.
Yeah.
Because... And that's the thing. I think people do the same thing here. If there was a war here,
yeah, people
do a madness. The problem is a lot of people don't do stuff because they know they'll get caught for it.
Right.
So, for example, like I wouldn't come to your yard and steal anything because chances are CCTV gonna get bagged.
Yeah.
If there was no CCTV and I weren't gonna get bagged, people go to Westfield right now and take a TV, bro.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? People go JD and put trainers on and walk out. Like,
yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? But the reason they wouldn't is because the risk versus the reward, it doesn't make sense. I'm not going to get a criminal record for a pair of Air Force.
Right. So do you think that sometimes people take the extra risk because they think that, like, the so I'm asking some...
Yeah, I think it's risk versus reward. Remember, people do something...
Do you reckon it's the same with religion as well? Like, in a sense of, like, you know what? Like, people do the religious stuff, but they feel like if I do a madness...
Yeah.
There's obviously going to be there's a risk to it because I could go the concept of hell. Yeah. I could go to hell, but there's something deep down in them where it's like, I don't know though. So, so the reward is actually more like that than it is this.
No, I think with religion, I think it's because God says, repent for your sins and I'll forgive you. So
people then use
nothing,
that.
Yeah, there's nothing you can actually do that God won't forgive. Technically, do you know what I'm saying? So like, I'm not saying I am going to do it, but I can murder someone tomorrow. And if in my heart I believe, you know, I'm sorry for this, God will be like, right, cool.
Isn't that an interesting concept? So you could essentially do whatever you want.
Yeah.
And even, no, wait, 1 second.
No, but you got to be remorseful though. You can't just be like, God forgive me and not mean it, because it doesn't work like that.
So how do you judge remorse?
In you will know if you're sorry for it, innit? In terms of God, remember, if God sees everything,
Most High will know.
He will know if you're being remorseful. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so you can do all the tears and that, but God obviously knows your heart.
Yeah.
I hear that. I hear that still. By the way, I'm not anti-God, by the way. I'm just always trying to understand, like, what it is about. Like, sometimes what I do is, because I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
Do you know?
And I believe that if God is in the concept the way that everyone says, I believe that God understands why I'm unsure.
Yeah,
because look at the world.
But my thing is this: the thing that baffles me the most is that people say God knows everything, and He knows what you're going to do before you do it, and He knows the end. He's seen it. So what am I playing this game for?
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying? Not in a rude way, but as in, you know what I mean? As in, like, bro, like you.
So you already know why.
You know my story, man.
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
Me, man. Like,
yeah, bust me and let me know why, God.
Bro.
Yeah, I hear that. Still.
So, do you know what I'm saying? As in, like, when I look at it, I'm
but then
like,
why don't you stop me from if I get wigged? Why don't you interfere though? Maybe there's a reason for that. Isn't it interesting that we like call him?
Because he's the father.
Yes, Father, Son, Holy Spirit.
Why not the mother?
Because that's nature.
Who told you that?
No, but if you read the Bible, Genesis, it says that
By the way, he just said mother
nature.
is nature.
Yeah.
So obviously mother nature, innit? But like,
Yeah.
but how do we know that? I wouldn't. I would feel more comfortable with God being a woman. I feel. Wouldn't you? I don't know.
Yeah.
But why is it even? See,
That's
for me,
one still,
for me, I just
you
think.
you can't answer that one still.
Nah, you know.
I say, nah, I'm ready for next minute. Hey, they're coming for man. But do you know what it is? But if you read the Bible, it says that obviously God made Adam in his image. And then when he left Adam in the Garden of Eden, he saw that Adam was lonely. So when Adam was sleeping, he broke Adam's rib and made the woman from Adam's rib. That's why it's kind of like they say that the woman kind of complements the man because he's a part of the warm man. Do you know what I'm saying? So she was made from the rib, whatever. So I don't know. It's a weird one because if people say God is this being and he is all seeing, all powerful, whatever, you're basically telling me he looks like a bloke.
Yeah, basically.
But in what form? What colour is he? Is he a black man? Is he
God
a white
is supposed
man?
to be
Like,
not.
is he-
God is supposed to be, if anything, something that your brain and words are not able to put together.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be beyond our imagination. That's what I think. Like that's what I feel like it's supposed to be.
Apparently,
to be able to describe
God.
God is weird to me. Like, I think is weird. But I also think as well, yeah, this is going to sound so mad. But imagine, yeah, if today we went to Oxford Street, right? And someone came down and they basically said that they are basically the son of God and that they've come down essentially to spread a message.
Yeah.
You know, you see that, right? Like, how would that person be looked at? Usually we'd look at that person and think, right, like, okay, cool. You know, you see them in Oxford Street and whatever. They got boards and all of these type of things and whatnot. And like a large percentage of people don't particularly take that person seriously, right? And they've got a message, right?
The delivery's mad.
Yeah, the delivery's all mad and that. But like, how do we not know that this was the same thing that was happening before, but only that people listened?
They didn't.
Well, they didn't, did they? No.
No, but apparently, but that's what I'm
It's
saying.
techie.
But my thing is this: even for example, the Bible, the things that I don't get is, for example, the Quran. Yeah, it's never been changed.
Right.
Like it's never like you're not allowed to touch the Quran.
I respect that.
Do you know what I'm saying? You can't touch it, bro. So as it was written, it's how it's written. Whereas the Bible, you've got the King James version, you've got this version, you've got that version. To like, so it's like as versions have been changed, it's like why have they been changed? Like what has been altered in this Bible? Like as in, some of the language is easy for me to digest now because you're using words like thee and cool. So, and certain terms in those days, maybe like Gentile or this and that, you might have changed it so that we understand it. But it's like, why are you allowed to touch this book if it's so holy? Why are you allowed to touch it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like there's and even if you go to like Egypt, they had like a similar book. I can't remember what it was called. It had like a different name, but they had like a Bible, and it was similar, like where they had the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit kind of, but it was like Pharaoh-looking beings. It was different. So it's like, have you taken that concept and changed it to this concept?
Yeah.
And also, as you said, in terms of God, you're not supposed to ever give God a face. So
No.
when you see the like white Jesus and whatever, like, what is this? Because you're telling me now this looks like God, but you never saw him. So how have we got? Remember, like, you used to go to people's yards.
Yeah, you saw the
And
Jesus.
you see the picture of Jesus, blue eyes, like long hair.
Yeah, no, it's mad.
Do you know
That's
what I'm
a
saying?
whole crazy. That is crazy, but that was normal. And how long was it normal for? And why was it normal? And that's another thing. It's like unearthing the world's secrets. Yeah, that's what I want to know about. Like, why did that happen? And how has that happened? I could handle that truth. I'll tell you that. I could handle that one. But I think that would be a difficult truth for some people to be able to handle. Regardless. Even if some of it was quite true.
Yeah,
but there's a dark side to everything, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? So it's like, it's understanding or seeing the dark side of it.
And I think a lot of people use Christianity to brainwash as well. And when you go into Africa and stuff like that, a lot of the missionaries used Jesus and stuff like that to get into certain places.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's kind of like that. And even KKK, for example, they were big on Jesus.
Yeah, yeah.
But you men are still lynching black brothers and...
Because they thought that was the right thing to do, because they looked at, well, they said that was the right thing, or someone told them that was the right thing to do, because essentially someone basically said that these people are inferior. So...
But where does that say in the Bible that you should kill inferior people? Do you know what I'm saying?
It doesn't, yeah, it doesn't say, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it doesn't say that at all. And I don't even think there's anything in there to make you, for you to interpret that. However, if you're living in a community or you have a group of people around you and you're a leader and you can get people to listen to you, you can find a way to convince people that that's what it is. All you need to do essentially is, which is the unfortunate thing, is just use God. Listen, God told me. God told me. The amount of crimes that are being committed in the name of religion and God is insane. However, I think in the greater scheme of things, more things have been good. I don't know.
I know what you mean. I know.
Because I wouldn't say that when I say like more crimes have been committed, I wouldn't say that like, I wouldn't say that the percentages of people are doing, like there's more people doing a mad. I'd probably say that it's like a small percentage. It's still a mad amount of people.
I think you're saying the benefit of religion outweighs the negatives of religion.
Yes.
Because in terms of religion, I get what you're saying. It gives more people moral compass.
Yeah, and there's so much peaceful people.
Yeah.
that are essentially trying to do what they believe is the right thing.
But I get what you're saying. The problem with certain people is that, for example, if I say to you, yo, Jesus said to go and kill this person, you can't question it.
Yeah, because Jesus said that.
That's what I'm saying. So that's what people use God for sometimes, as in like, you can't question it, so just do it. Whereas, for example, if I say to you, Chuck, do me a favour, go upstairs and whatever, you can say to me, Marv, why aren't you going? Like, you can use your legs. Like, then we can have a debate. It's like, allow me, I'm tired, man. Whereas if I've said to you, for example, someone that you can't question has said for you to go upstairs, you're going to have to go upstairs. Do you know what I'm saying? So I can use that and like, start telling everyone, yeah, you go upstairs.
Yeah. What happens when you die? That's what I would like to know. What actually happens? I think something happens, because I don't know if you've ever seen a dead body before, but immediately when somebody dies, they look normal, and then after a certain period of time, you could just see that it's just a shell. Like this is just nothing.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And the thing that is actually something, the thing that has the most amount of substance has
soul.
gone.
Yeah, people say it's a soul.
Yeah.
Once your soul leaves your body, it's different.
Where does it go? Could you handle that one?
Okay, I want to handle that one. Do you know what it is? If I knew that one, for example, the moment you knew that answer, your life would change.
To bits.
Immediately, like on the spot. The moment you get the news that where your soul goes, if you're fucking about today, it ends that minute.
Right.
If you've got a link that night,
yes.
If you've got a rave to go to, whatever booking you have, you're cancelling it, bro. I'm telling. If someone said to you, listen, the way you're living is bad, blah blah blah. You have to do this for your soul to go here, and they're giving you definitive proof, as in like, bro, look at this. It's not hearsay. Your phone, brother. I'm scanning my iPhone today.
Yeah.
You never see me on the gram again, bro. Right. Like your life will change completely, bro. But then people can argue and say, but if you have faith, it should do that anyway.
Right. Right.
Because why do you have to see it to believe it? Because we give you the word.
And that goes to the point I was saying before. It's like, what are you really about? If it takes something, if it takes you to find out that it's not that for you to move mad, then you was always an idiot. Really.
But I think we're looking at it like we're not doing anything bad. As in, for example, like we're not murdering or we're not doing a madness. I'm just going to a little party. I'm holding a wine. I'm drinking a Red Nef. Allow me, man. Yeah. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Let me just enjoy my youth. We're looking at it like that. Do you know what I'm saying? Whereas certain people deep in religion are looking at it like you're a sinner. sort yourself out. Lake of fire is waiting.
Yeah.
In our head, we can't imagine a lake on fire.
Right.
So you're like, I'll sort myself out in a week.
Yeah.
2 weeks. Let me get old, and then when do you know what I'm saying? Like, people look at stuff differently. I think it just depends on how you look at it, bro.
I think as well, man, like, you'd be surprised at how much people would move so mad if you found out that nothing
It existed.
You see, like, afterwards, it was that's it. It was nothing. Then watch how quick, watch the crimes that some people would commit. Like, and the way that people would move in that. And I think it would be interesting to find out, like, what people are, like, really about. But that's a deep one still. See, you lot that's listening and watching and stuff like that, yeah? What secret would you unearth? Like, what would you, like, where would you go? Hey, love for coming through, man. I do appreciate
man.
it, bro.
No problem,
It's
man.
Long overdue, my bro.
Yeah, man.
Is there anything that anyone needs to know about? Anything that anyone needs to know about? It could be a book, it could be a TV show, it could be a flipping, it could be a restaurant, it could be anything. What is one thing that people need to know about?
Jesus.
Or selfish. Something to do with you.
Yeah, it could be something to do with you.
Just follow me on the socials, man.
Nah, man, that's dead.
Nah.
Why?
That's dead. Nah, that's dead, bro.
One?
There's got to be something. Like, yo, I got...
What's the best food you've eaten this year?
Now, I know you're interested in Don. Do you watch a doc? Have you seen anything? Like, what's like... Is there a designer brand that you've seen? Like a clothing brand or some shit like that?
Doc. I might probably have. There's a documentary on I think it's on Amazon. I can't remember but I can't remember the name though. I like nature programs, innit?
Okay.
And this was like it tells you like all about the, like certain animals and that mad facts. There's a thing called a goshawk that can do 0 to 60 miles an hour in a second.
What, it's an animal?
It's a bird. Like
it's a bird?
Yeah.
Goshawk?
Goshawk, yeah. I think it can do 60. Let me
put it on the screen. Put it on the screen.
Let me find it 1 sec. Let me find it.
What, one flap? What, just gone?
I got it written down. The matter thing is, I was watching this thing, yeah, and I was so baffled that I had to write it down.
Goss?
Bruv,
yeah. So goshawk, they call it the phantom of the forest, yeah. The goshawk can do 0 to 40 miles per hour in under a second. It's the fastest acceleration of any bird.
Fucking heck. Is anything coming up?
Yeah, I'm just going to have a goshawk speed.
Yeah, goshawk 0 to 40 in under a second.
Do you know what? There's so many things out there, man. In the world, so many different types of birds, animals. Like the sea is the next thing as well, bro. The sea is an absolute madness, bruv. I see today actually I was on TikTok, right? Which I just don't even go on TikTok that much for whatever reason. I don't know why. It hasn't stuck with me yet. But I was on there today and it had a video of a shark attack. This man was in a flipping
the box, and he's
in a box. Yeah,
the great white just banged it.
Yeah, he just banged it and just went all the way through. Because it's like the great white was going around it, swimming around it on a vibe of what's this like.
Yeah.
And then it was like, should I let him go or should I not?
Because they say that in terms of sharks, when they feel anything on their nose that's not natural, they move.
Yeah.
But they said normally they said that anything you put in the water, the shark can break it. Anything. There's nothing you can put in water that a shark can't go through. But the fact is, we normally bank on them, touch it with their nose, and that shark was like, what's this? Boom. But they said that maybe the shark couldn't see it because it was see-through.
Yeah.
The shark didn't know it was there.
Did he die? Obviously.
No. He survived.
He got out of that?
Yeah, he got out. Because the shark didn't actually want him. The shark was just.
Fucking. Could you imagine the anxiety?
But I'll never go and water again. I would even bath.
Right.
But you know about it, just to conclude that point, yeah. So that the goshawk can do 0 to 40 and 40 miles an hour, yeah. But then in the same forest, there's a thing called a chickadee.
A chickadee.
So basically, what this chickadee does, yeah, is whenever it spots the goshawk, it rings the alarm.
Oh, really?
So the goshawk will like come in for someone, like as in it will see the goshawk, and it will do like a call.
Yeah.
And this call is a coded message broadcast hawk's position and speed. So all the other animals around hear this message, and this message, what is it? It goes. It goes at. It goes at twice the speed of the goshawk.
Yeah, it sounds like you spoke hella weed.
Yeah, basically that.
Okay.
So the message from this bird travels at twice the speed of the goshawk. So the goshawk's doing 40. That thing's going at 80. So all the animals are hearing goshawks coming. Yo,
okay.
Everyone just starts ducking in burrows. Everyone starts cutting. So by the time the goshawk comes, like most men are just gone.
You see what I'm saying? This whole thing out there is war. Everything is war. Everything is war and trying to just stay away and survive.
But imagine how mad it is. Remember,
I wonder if that's how we are.
Our survival is just like, all right, cost of living, whatever.
Well, you're talking from a Western world.
From Western, yeah, cool. But certain animals is like, today might be my last, literally. Gazelle, like as in, a gazelle's drinking water and a lion can just, a crocodile can.
Yeah, when you think about how, like for example, a lion, like a big fucking lion, it's been outside for a minute.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? It's been out there for anything that you see that is flipping big and like kind of old. It's like, rah, you got some years out of this thing, because enough of them don't get that. Like, enough of them don't get that.
And someone made a sick point. Someone said that a lion.
What is actually the king of the jungle? Is it actually a lion? It's not, is it?
But a lion's not even from the jungle. Because it's not from the jungle. That's what I'm saying. That people just this whole, when you see a lion, it's like in a safari, like it's like in a
Sahara.
Yeah, savannah. Yeah, it's not even a jungle. Do you know what I'm saying? But they were someone was saying to me, certain animals don't know fear.
Okay.
Because remember, who hunts a lion?
True.
Do you know what I'm saying? There's certain animals that have the same way a gazelle or zebra. Is it zebra or zebra?
I always say zebra, but I think a lot of people say zebra.
They have fear because they're like, today might be, a lion doesn't have that fear. There's certain animals that don't have a fear of another animal.
That makes sense.
Like an apex predator.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because it's like, I'm not on nothing. I'm not even here for that. Lions are on the thing of, bro, shut up.
I lie? It's my time or allow it,
fucking idiot, bruv. I'm here, innit?
And you know lions killed cubs.
Yeah. Yeah, that's nuts though. That's nuts, but that's their thing.
No, but it's not though, because remember, if that cub
gets big
and it realizes what you've done to his dad, and you're old and frail, it's gonna box you.
So what, does it have some type of conscience like that though? Like,
no, I think it knows it's not the parent. Like,
yeah.
That's why whenever a new lion comes in, it kills all the male cubs, and it starts its own.
That is so fucking gangster. You know that when I land here, I'm coming in and I'm getting rid of everything, just for. Yeah, that reminds me of a case I'm following at the moment, but I'm not going to go into that today. But all right, listen. Anyway, my G, love for coming through, my bro. Thanks for listening, everyone. Yeah.
Cool, bro. Love, man.